Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Noel and welcome to Yoga for Abs. This is a quick full body workout that focuses on the core, so the area of our body where all posture, balance, movement should stem from. It's an easy flow, so all levels should be able to do it, but if there's any point that you feel uncomfortable, feels a little bit painful, then I just want you to pause and breathe, because remember that breathing is the most important part of yoga, and I will be cueing you for your breath throughout this entire flow. So starting here at the top of your mat, your feet should be in parallel position. So that means that your feet are pointing straight ahead, either together or a few inches apart. I want your kneecaps lifted so you're engaging the quadricep muscle. The pelvis is tucked, that means booty down. Belly is pulled in towards the spine. Shoulders are down and away from your ears, and we're preparing for sun salutation. So actually, sun salutations are great for working the core, and they're a good alternative to doing just the traditional crunch. So from here, we're starting sun salutation A. On an inhale, I want you to bring your arms up, 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 up. And exhale, forward fold with a flat back. Good. And now inhale, come to flat back, belly in. Exhale, hands to the mat, and we're gonna step back to downward dog. So now in downward dog, you're trying to press your heels down into the mat. Pressing those heels down, stretching into those calf muscles. Your fingers are spread nice and wide, so you're evening up the weight distribution over your wrist. The belly is pulled in towards the spine, and you're looking towards your navel. We're gonna take 2 more breaths here. In and out through the nose if you can. Good, and take another deep breath. And then on an inhale, I want you to move just forward a bit. So you're rolling through your arches, and you're gonna bend the knee, but you're gonna bend the knee to hover. So the knees are hovering just over your mat. You're using your core to keep those legs up. Your shoulders should be directly over your wrist, joint stacking. Good, and just breathe here for 2 more breaths. Good, and now push those hips back. Looking forward, we're gonna walk to meet our hands. Good. Exhale, folding into the legs. Inhale, come to a flat back, belly in. Exhale, folding into the legs. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good job. We're going to try that again. So let's inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, come to a flat back. Good, belly in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Let's step back, this time to plank if you can. If you can't do a full plank, that's fine. You can modify by bringing your knees down but pushing the pelvis forward. But if you want to also just skip it all together, just go back to the downward dog like we did the first time. We're preparing now for chaturanga, so low push-up. If you're in full plank, I want you to keep those heels pressing back towards that back wall, bending the elbows close to the body. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We find each other in downward dog and just breathe. In and out through the nose if you can. Let's take 2 more breaths here. On the next inhalation, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna roll through those arches, and then we're gonna hover, bringing the knees forward if you can. If you can't, maybe you just wanna bring the knees down to the mat, but if you can engage that core, lifting those knees up off the mat, the shoulders are directly over the wrist, joint stacking. We're gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. That's 1, 2. Now press those hips back as we prepare to walk forward towards our hands. Good. Exhale, floating into the legs. Inhale, come to a flat back, belly in. Exhale, floating into the legs. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, hands to the heart. I promise you, this is the last time. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a flat back, belly in. Exhale, hands to the mat. This time, step back to plank position if you can, or you can also modify by bringing the knees down, pushing the pelvis forward. The belly is pulled in towards the spine. If you're in full plank, you're pushing those heels back to that back wall as we prepare for a low push-up, chaturanga, bending the elbows close to the body. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, and let's take a few breaths here. In and out through the nose if you can. One more breath. And now moving forward, rolling through those arches, we're gonna come forward to bend our knees and hover. Let those knees hover over the mat, using the core to lift the knees up. Shoulders are directly over the wrist. Good, let's breathe here for 2 more breaths. Good, and now press the hips back as we prepare to walk forward flat back, belly in. Exhale, holding into the legs, and inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good job. So now you just want to relax and bring your knees down to the mat. You should find yourself in hand and knee position. So hand and knee position, the shoulders directly over the wrist. The knees are directly underneath the hips. The belly is pulled in towards the spine. Good, and from here we're going to prepare for spinal traction. So working our paraspinal muscles, the muscles along the spine. I want you to release the left leg back in parallel position. So that means the knee is pointing down towards your mat. Point the toe if you can, and then release the right arm out. We're balancing onto that right knee, holding that belly in towards the spine. Your focus is down towards your neck, so you're not looking up and out as I put too much strain on the neck, the cervical spine. You're looking down towards your mat and breathing. Let's sit here for 5 more breaths, right? Let's breathe in and out of the nose if you can. 3 more breaths. Hold that belly in. 2 more breaths. Last one, and release. Good job. Same thing other side. So you're releasing the right leg out. The leg is in parallel position. Knee towards the mat. Release the left arm, Left arm is out. Belly in. The focus is down towards your mat. Holding that belly in. And let's breathe here for 5 more breaths. Two more breaths. And release. Good job. Now let's prepare for cat and cow vinyasa. You're going to inhale, looking up and out, letting the pelvis fall. And exhale, curving the spine, curving. Inhale, looking up and out. And exhale, curving the spine. Good. One more time. Inhale, looking up and out. Pelvis falls. Exhale, curving the spine, and now come to neutral spine. So now I want to get you onto your bum. Let's take our knees out, push the hips forward, pressing forward. Good, shoulders are down and away from the ears. And if you can, I want you to cross at your ankle and push through to a seated position. If you can't push through your hips, just get onto one hip, swing your legs around. We should find each other onto our bottoms. So knees are in bent position, feet are flat on the floor. I want you to present your arms forward, and we're gonna just lean back as we prepare for boat pose. So in boat pose, you're gonna lift your legs up, tabletop position, 90-degree angle if you can. You're balancing onto your coccyx, your tailbone. Good, using that core to keep those legs up. If this is too much for your back, just bring your feet down. So you're just gonna lift your heels, but maybe you're onto your toes. But if you can do full boat, then keep those legs up. Good, and we're gonna breathe here. 5 more breaths. That's 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now let's add some arms. Let's add a little bit onto it. That's 2. Let's go for 10. And that's 3, 4, 5. We're halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good, and now bring the legs down. Inhale, exhale, press those knees into the chest. Good. And now relax your feet onto the mat. Still in bent position with the knees. We're gonna present our arms forward, roll down one vertebrae at a time until we find ourselves onto our mat. Good, so the feet are flat onto the mat, but now I want you to take the knees out to the side. Bring the soles of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. So in this position, we're gonna do crunches, okay? So you're gonna bring your hands behind your head for support. Chin is up and away from the chest. Inhale, and then on an exhale, you're gonna crunch up for 1, 2. We're going for 30. That's 4, 5. Keep breathing. You always wanna stay with the breath. I'm at 10. Halfway there. At 20. 28, 29, and 30. Good job. Now bring the knees into center. Good. So the knees are at your center. I want you now just to raise the legs up. You're making a tabletop again, as we did when we did boat pose previously, but this time, so the knees shooting straight out from the hip, I want you to toe tap. So you're gonna tap your toe out just beyond the other foot and then bring it back. And tap the other foot and bring it back. So if you can, you wanna keep your knees shooting straight out from the hip, so you're engaging the core here, you're engaging your lower belly. Tap and bring it back, tap and bring it back. The small of your back is pressed into the mat. There should be no space between your lower back and the mat. If it's too much for your back, then maybe you want to bring the knees closer. So the knees are closer to your chest as you're tapping. You lose a little bit of core engagement, but you're still moving, you're still engaging somewhat. But if you can keep the knees straight out from the hip, do that. So you're tapping out and bring it back, tap and bring it back. 5 more sets. And that's 4. That's 3. That's 2. Last set. Good. And now bring the knees into the chest. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Good. Now this time I want you to just release the feet flat onto the mat. They should be a few inches apart from your hips, and we're going to try pelvic curls. So it's a very small move but effective. We're curling or tucking the pelvis and then release. So you're pressing the small of the back into your mat. Good. So it's tuck and release. Using these lower abs to tuck the pelvis. You're not lifting, so your bottom stays on the floor. So it's just tuck and release. 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 Let's go for 5 more. And that's 4, 3, that's 2, that's 1. Good job. And now I want you to take the knees over to the right. Focusing over your left shoulder, you should feel a pull or stretch into that left hip, that left flank. Good. And from here, I want you to now bring your focus center. So we're actually going to do crunches in this position to work our oblique muscles. So you're going to keep your hands behind your head for support. Chin is up and away from the chest. You're going to inhale and crunch it up for 1 and 2 and 3. We're going to do 15 on this side. That's 5. That's 10. And last one. Good job. Bring the knees center and then allow the knees to kind of fall over towards the left for spinal twist. You're going to look over your right shoulder, just releasing that lower back. You should feel the stretch into the right side of the body, right flank, right hip. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. And now bring your focus center. You can bring your hands behind your head for support. Inhale, exhale, crunching up for 1 and 2. We're going for 15 on this side. I'm at 6. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, and we're done on this side. Good. Let's bring the knees to center. We're going to bring the knees into the chest for a nice stretch. Good. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press, and we're done, guys. You made it through. You made it through the full series today. Just giving yourself some thanks for taking time for self for today. And now just kind of rock from side to side, massaging the lower back, releasing any tension that you may have in the lower back. Good. And now I want you to stretch the arms and the legs to the opposite ends of the room. So as if a string is pulling you from your navel out. Good. Point those toes if you can. Stretch, 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 stretch that core we just worked. And just breathe. Let's take a few more breaths here. 1 more breath. Good. Now flex the feet. We're going to prepare to exhale up to a seated upright position. In this position, your arms are presenting forward. Inhale, exhale, forward fold over the legs. Over the legs for a nice forward stretch. Forward bend. Trying to get deeper into the stretch with each exhalation. Good, and now let's inhale, come all the way up, and we are done. Now let's inhale our arms up and exhale, hands towards the heart. And I want to thank you. Thank you for taking time for yourself today. I hope that you had moments for rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation, and stimulating that core. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.